Toronto. On April 28 in first-half action, Toronto FC forward Sebastian Giovinco, 10, Jonathan Osorio, 21, celebrate Toronto FC midfielder Victor Vazquez, goal. Toronto FC, TFC, hosts Chicago Fire in MLS soccer action at BMO Field in Toronto. April 28, 2018, Richard Lautens, Toronto star via Getty Images, Toronto FC made the decision to sacrifice a few MLS games on their CCL journey. Now, most of the team that won MLS Cup and featured in the 250th games are ready to start their run back up the MLS table. The Supporters' Shield may already be out of reach, but getting 3 points from Philadelphia Union will be expected. However, after a crushing defeat against Chivas and a squandered lead against the Fire, this Toronto team needs time to heal emotionally and physically. Philadelphia enters the game feeling good after last week, but coach Jim Curtin knows this team has several flaws. He has announced his intentions to rotate the squad the next several weeks in the spirit of competition and rest. At his last press conference, Curtin did praise Ilsinho, who will probably get to start his second straight game, but admitted that rotation was necessary. BMO Field, Toronto, May 4 at 8 p.m. ETWATCH, ESPN, TSN, 1/3, 4/5, PHL 17, local, Harrison, NJ, October 30th, Toronto FC midfielder Marco Delgado, 18, during the second half of the MLS Cup playoff game between the New York Red Bulls and Toronto FC on October 30th, 2017, at Red Bull Arena in Harrison, NJ. Photo by Rich Grazel, Icon Sports Wire via Getty Images. Toronto FC without CCL play to focus on. Toronto FC finally had a week of rest leading up to a game. The next 3 Toronto FC games are at home, but the Union are the weakest opponent of the 3. In order to earn 7 points in those games, a result against a mediocre Philadelphia team is a must. Points from all 3 games will have Toronto again in the top 6 Eastern Conference places. Form, LLWLLDRECORD, 1-4-1 last game, 2-2 tie versus Chicago Fire. Player to watch, Marky Delgado. Delgado is being asked to cover more responsibilities in midfield while Michael Bradley fills in at center-back. Bradley, as a midfielder, still liked to drop deep between defenders to start the team's attack. After a great start last week, Delgado faded late as Dax McCarty and Bastian Schweinsteiger began the Fire comeback. Delgado's defensive work stood out for all the right reasons in CCL play. The last couple of games his touch has stood out for all of the wrong reasons. Toronto must hope he plays a tighter game after a week off to find fresh legs. Delgado is getting to audition for the Bradley role in the next Gold Cup. He needs to shine against overmatched opposition. Why they will win, the Union will be playing a young backline all season. Sebastian Giovinco is a world-class attacker. With Bradley and Delgado both holding possession from deep and Giovinco able to roam with no Josie, the Reds just have too much talent for the Union kids to handle. Why they will not, the musical chair performance in the center of defense gets overrun for a couple of goals, and the attack still looks slow and fatigued as it did in the second half last week. With Giovinco isolated, the Union devote 2 defenders in midfield to marking him out of the game. With Bradley being stuck not able to join the attack, Toronto spends most of its possession too far away from goal to be dangerous. A turnover too close to goal could give the Union the chance at a quick counter goal. Projected formation: Irwin, Oro, Van der Weel, Bradley, Morgan, Delgado, Hassler, Vazquez, Osorio, Giovinco, Ricketts. Page 2 CHESTER, PA, April 13th, Union midfielder David Ockham, 7, winds up for a shot in the first half during the game between the Orlando City SC and Philadelphia Union on April 13, 2018 at Talon Energy Stadium in Chester, PA. Photo by Kyle Ross, Icon Sports Wire via Getty Images. The Union finally scored in April and got more than 1 goal for the first time since the season opener. The young defenders are doing the best they can, but the offense has failed to provide any support. Borek Dockal had a Goal of the Week nominee last week, but the Union cannot lean on those individual moments. They seemingly only come once a month. Form, DLDLLWRECORD, 2-3-2 last game, 3-2 win versus DC United. Player to watch, CJ Sapong had a list of critics longer than his scoring drought going into the DC United game. While he may have scored, he did so against the worst team in MLS. Dockal scored last week and set up more than a handful of chances. The other Union players could only convert one of those offerings into the winning goal. If Sapong wants to ever be considered for another USMNT camp, he must increase his production in front of goal. Why they will win. Dockal has looked more comfortable in MLS every week and is finding spaces to create close to goal. Against a shuffled Toronto, Dockal will find more opportunities than usual. If the Union can finish just 2 of 10 chances, they will leave with at least a point. Why they will not. The next Union player to show confidence and accuracy in front of the opponent's net will be the first. Instead of 1 out of 5 chances being finished, the Union revert back to the form where they only scored 1 goal in the previous 5 games before struggling to beat a poor DC United. Projected formation: Blake, Rosenberry, Elliott, Trusty, Debeso, Bedoya, Herbers, Ilsenho, Dockal, Akam, Sapong. Prediction: 2-0 with the points to the Reds as Toronto FC shows why they're the reigning champions. Toronto FC should not feel much pressure to get results after a slow start last year ended with a title. The injury concerns will probably limit this team from closing the 16-point gap with the MLS leaders, but Toronto will have no problem with the also-rans of MLS.